Number 1. Use your profane Mindcages for incredible XP. They raised the Helltide monster level by 10 and increased the aberrant cinder drop rate plus the threat meter gain. You do get these Mindcages from the Hellborn opponents, and the Hellborn opponents spawn as your threat meter goes completely full, then depletes, and at the end you kill the lieutenant for the cash. Keep in mind that when you die with the cash on, it goes away. So avoid the Blood Maiden while the cash is running and just reap the amazing benefits, get all that juicy bonus XP. And as a little bonus, if you're already level 82 in the Helltide with a Mind Cage, you will constantly drop 925 gear from everything. Boom, super value. Number 2, the Capstone Dungeon. World Tier 2, Cathedral of Light, do it at level 35. And to World Tier 4, the Fallen Temple at level 55. And there's a good reason for it. Because Ancestral Legendary Gear, the final gear, can already be worn with level 55. Yes, as soon as you jump over to World Tier 4, you can straight up put everything on. And not only can you put straight up everything on, as soon as you get into World Tier 3 and Respective 4, you can go to the Opal vendor, roll for items, and straight up get 905 item power, or even 925, 918, probably 850 as you just entered the World Tier then and there, but this works for World Tier 3 and 4 to get a killer weapon straight away and then just blast through the content easy mode. Number 3, Iron Wolve Reputation. Straight up use the items. Do not hoard them, do not keep them. Down here, this is going to be kind of ancestral. Until then, you're mostly getting sacred things. The cool thing is that the traces of the Maiden and also the Iron Wolve's most dependable did drop me unique items. Straight away in World Tier 3, I already had the Littlest Wall or Mother's Embrace. Hell, they even gave me the Death Speaker's Pendant and the Grace of the Empty Tomb. Keeping those caches open will not suddenly with a World Tier jump yield you ancestral legendaries, ancestral uniques. You get what's in the box and you can't kind of upgrade them. Number 4, general Helltide advice. Don't waste your time on the Blood Maiden. You can kill her in World Tier 1 a couple of times, but in World Tier 3 and 4, it's mostly a bit tedious in the beginning, and you're rather gonna go and search for the structures, because the structures that shoot out fire and the soul-sucking structures, they spawn so many elites and they fill your threat meter up so fast. Way more time efficient to spend leveling there than trying to wrestle down the Maiden. Especially you might die against the Maiden and lose your cinders. Don't forget, spend your cinders beforehand before you actually try to take her down. Otherwise, you're going to be very frustrated as you get cut down from 500 very quick. Especially as you use the Mind Caches, the amount of cinders you get is incredible. I was 5 minutes in and I already had 300 plus going on. Getting like 1,000 cinder is not hard with this, and that's why you want to use it straight up from the very beginning, because it's just so amazing. Number 5, Nightmare Dungeons. Don't waste your time doing them until you can at least do a tier 41. This is a 52 with monster level 106. If the monster level is 95 and higher, the Nightmare Dungeons are actually dropping 925 gear. Before, it's not worth it. And a tier 52 Nightmare Dungeon already has up to 300 glyph XP. And you don't want to do Nightmare Dungeons before you actually picked up the Seasonal Blessing Urn of Nightmares. Boost Paragon glyph XP earned in Nightmare Dungeons by another 20%. Yes, I got this one up first, then I started doing Nightmare Dungeons, and right now this level 86 is mostly done with Helltide, because Nightmare Dungeons are very inefficient right now. And as I said in the Helltide, if you're level 82, with the Mind Caches, you're constantly dropping 925 gear from the boxes as well. This might sound like a very simple one, but you're going to be flushed with boss materials. Living Steels, Varshan, you're going to have Exquisite Blood. It's dropping left, right, and center everywhere. Don't you dare using this in World Tier 3. You want to start using them in World Tier 4, that you're getting the 925 uniques, but also that the bosses are dropping the Shards of Agony, the bonus Shackles for Andariel, that you can then actually go and summon Duriel and Dariel for those chances for more Uber uniques, but also that you're already stacking up for tormented bosses. Tormented bosses are 5 times the loot for 3 times the mats. So for 15 living steel, I can already get 5 times the loot. And well, I can really easily kill the tormented boss around with level 95, 100. Next one is about tempering and masterworking. Do you actually temper during the leveling process? The answer is mostly no. Now I'm saying mostly because as I jumped into World Tier 3, I rolled myself a 741 item, and I would not find anything better during my time in World Tier 3. So obviously I gemmed it in and I already tempered it, because the tempering is quite cheap at this point. I mean, it's 7 rocks and 4 veiled crystals, and I'm at 3,000 veiled crystals. I'm not doing anything special. I'm just sitting here with a bunch of these veiled crystals and don't have to worry about anything. Bunch of forgotten souls. I'm not even picking up yellow items anymore. I'm just literally just picking up these, and if you actually salvage a normal item, you do get veiled crystals, which is fantastic. So you don't actually have to salvage goddamn yellow items. Nah, you can salvage legendary items for veiled crystals. And then as I got to World Tier 4 and now I start picking up my 925 items, that's where the tempering actually begins. That's where I have tempered my weapon, I've tempered my gloves, I've tempered the helmet, and I've tempered the ring that I'm potentially planning to keep for a while. But I'm still not tempering every single item because it's just simply not worth it, since they might get just replaced 5 minutes later. And technically, the next tip on top of that, you're finding greater affix items like crazy. They used to be rare, but you notice greater affixes, 120% vulnerable damage, pretty nice. And I even found a triple greater affix items. Yes, this is 901 item power. Technically the best thing out there already on the market. That's insane. So you kind of don't want to temper a single item that doesn't have at least 1 greater affix, because as soon as you get a greater affix, they make a huge difference. You're going to replace your item from before. I mean, this one right now has 120% vulnerable damage and 152 intelligence. Compare this to my item, which only has 80 vulnerable damage. Yeah, I mean, it has the same amount of intelligence, kinda, and the resource generation could be even rolled into a better maximum life, and it's just the superior weapon because of the greater affix, and the scythe can never keep up with this. Interestingly enough though, I am level 86, and the Purveyor of Curiosities can roll 925 items already. Yep, I mean it's 905, 925, and 918 from rolling. And it can not only do that, it can give you greater affix items as well. So if I'm looking for boots now because I'm looking for a specific affix, a specific aspect, I can just roll this stuff like crazy, and I might even get one that has 1 or 2 greater affixes, or just give me better aspects like an absolute max rolled movement speed to chilled enemies, which I'll actually never use. And on the topic of obolts, yes, Urn of Burning Obolts boost amount of obolts you find in Helltide chests, which contain obolts during this season. Use your obolts. Don't worry, you'll have more than enough because the time you spend in Helltides is tremendous. Finally, avoid Legion events like the Plague. They're really not worth it anymore. The only reason to go to Legion events was for the blood for Lord Zur, and if you actually get a very good XP multiplier, but they're slow and cumbersome. In the time where the Legion event happens, you could kill the Blood Maiden of the Helltide already 2-3 times, open just random chests, kill the amount of elites there, and get yourself the materials like this. These 24 bloods I got just from Helltiding. Do the Helltide. The Helltide is everything this season. Ladies and gentlemen, what level have you already achieved and what class are you playing? Put it in the description below. And if you're now looking for the Necromancer build I've been flying through levels with, here it is. And in general, the live stream of me flying through all these levels. Enjoy. Thank you for watching.